Good morning. Welcome back to Shralp Stories, and we're starting a new video series, Tech Tips with Uncle Kolton. So I'm gonna teach you how to do anything from airs, turns, punts, snaps, putting your wetsuit on the right way, putting your fins in the right way, getting the right fins dialed for the right surfboard for the right conditions. But today, we're actually gonna be focusing on punts. So a lot of people like airs, want to do airs, and try to do airs, but not a lot of people succeed. So I'm gonna assist you in succeeding with airs. We're gonna be riding this little 5.7, 19 3/16 by 2 1/4, 6-channel future fins. Normally we have to put FCS fin boxes, the first generation of FCS fin boxes, because there's curvature in these channels and the fin boxes won't fit. They'll be sticking up out of the sides and all these things. So what we like to do, a little secret tip, we put the fin boxes in the microwave, and then they're very pliable. The plastic gets all soft, so you twist them a little bit, and then they fit right in, like snug as a bug in a rug. Let's go down to the beach. We'll go do some punts. We'll try. I'm gonna put on my wetsuit, knee pads in the front. Best way to know which way to put your wetty on, if you're ever curious. Knee pads in the front. All right, now let's go fucking surf. So that's pretty much what we're looking for. We want a breaking wave going into another breaking wave. What we call a closeout, but that's a good air section. When the wave's coming towards you, it gives you good lift. So let's see what this one does right here. Whenever that bodyboarder's taking off, you go right, do a little pump, come out of the barrel, and then do an air right there on that little foam ball section. That's what you're looking for. That's what we want to see. Alright, so that Shralp was very subpar. Waves were pretty bad. Weird wind today. Got like onshore for a little bit, then went glassy, then went back offshore. It was very strange weather. Waves are super mushy. It's like the end of summertime here, you know, the sand's kind of gone, a lot of rocks, but I don't know, I had fun. Felt good to get in the water, rinse off for the day. Not many punts, unfortunately, for you guys, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through some old footage. Me and Connor been filming for a long time, and we got a big storage of a bunch of things that haven't even been seen yet. So we're gonna go through some footage when we get back to the house, and I'm gonna go through a little bit of technique stuff with you guys. So stay tuned, learn some things. All right, so we made it. We just got some French toast for breakfast from Dippity Donuts around the corner. It's pretty good. But we're gonna go through some footage here. We got a couple older waves pulled up that weren't from this morning because this morning's surf was subpar, to say the least. Let's go through, and we're gonna start by talking about the wave that you want to find. So you're looking for something that's a steeper wave with a nice sharp lip line on it, and you want ideally to have a section breaking further out and then a section at the end that's gonna be soft and mushy, so it has a nice easy landing for you. So this bigger wave is going to give you the speed and the power towards this smaller wave at the end to give you the amount of speed that you need to go to the air. So in this particular situation, I was able to do a turn to set up for the air, And then that it kept me in the power source, which is right here in the foam. And then I was able to start gaining some speed down the line towards the mushier section at the end. And I look for right there, I want to hit the wave right at the edge, right where the lip is starting to break. So there's the soft shoulder where you're not going to get much lift off of. And then over here you have the wave actually breaking. So you're going to use that lip just like a skateboarder would use at a skate park. They'd use the coping to hit their wheels, and it'll bonk you up into the air, basically. So I'm looking for that same exact thing that a skateboarder would be looking for. Now what I do is I put my weight into my back foot, and I project up and to the beach. And everything starts with your head. Head, shoulders, knees, then toes. Then your board follows. So look where you're going. Shoulders will rotate, hips will follow, knees will follow. So you always want to be looking wherever you want to be going. Now, in an aerial situation, you're not going to be going out to sea. You're not going to be going down the wave. You want to be looking in towards the beach is where you're going to be landing. Right here, I'm putting the board on rail, weight on my back foot, just like I would on a turn, but I'm doing the turn above the lip, basically. So right here, it blasts me up into the air, and now I'm rotating my shoulders towards the beach. Looking at my landing, if you look at my eyes where I'm looking, I'm gauging my feet and where I'm going to be landing eventually down here as well. Now I'm putting most of my weight into my front foot in this situation here, so that when I do land, the nose will stick in first and then the tail will follow. So that'll slow my momentum down and make it a little bit easier to ride out. Now there's a couple different kinds of airs that you can be doing. There's air reverses, which is this situation here. There's straight airs, which you just do something like this and then land straight with your nose towards the beach. So it's a little bit easier to rotate an air reverse rather than a straight air because you're projecting your momentum in front of the wave so that you're landing in front of the wave and it's going to keep carrying you in. Whereas these straight airs, you really have to focus on throwing your body in towards the beach. Otherwise, you're just going to end up out the back every single time. So there's air reverses, there's straight airs, there's something they call alley-oops. There's all sorts of different grabs you can do with your hands, whether it's your front hand or your back hand. For a straight air, this is a perfect example of like a wave that you want to get for an air section. You have a nice powerful pocket in the back behind me here where I'm surfing, where I'm keeping myself positioned so that I have enough speed to hit the end section. And this is your end section here. So I'm eyeing the lip right there at the top of the wave, and that's where I want to hit it so that I get the projection up into the air. It's similar to doing an air reverse. Air reverse, you really want to throw your shoulders into the beach, whereas this one, you kind of torque your shoulders in towards the beach, like here. So you go in towards the beach a bit, but then you keep your shoulders at that horizontal facing down the line. Rather than continuing the rotation and putting your shoulders and always be looking over your shoulders, this one you're kind of like throwing it initially and then holding and pausing. So you stop your momentum. Typically you're going to be twisting, but this one you want to be looking straight, and it's a nice easy landing. You want to be heavy on your back foot, otherwise your nose will poke under very easily. You want to cook together some speed. Here I did a turn to get me back into the power source, the pocket, and then I'm waiting, trying to stay right next to the power source. One little pump, you come off the bottom, look up, and project in towards the beach. And then you always want to land with a low center of gravity. Keep your knees bent, arms out wide. That's the best case scenario for balance. So here's an example of a mid-wave air reverse. So this one here, I drop in, and I'm pretty much waiting for the section to come to me because this wave is such a little A-frame that the section was really tight. So I needed to wait and stay in the power source for longer. And then I can come off the bottom and project up in the air. So if you notice, when I'm coming off the bottom, when I'm doing the bottom turn, I'm eyeing the lip line right where I want to hit it. And I also have my back arm coiled all the way back behind me So that way I have maximum amount of projection of my front back arm over my front shoulder. So that way you get the most amount of torque coming out of your body to then spin the surfboard and get the rotation that you're looking for. So back arm back, knees bent, heavy on the back foot, come up to the lip, do a top turn above the lip, project towards the beach, rotate, continue to eye your landing, knees very bent, scoot your front foot up. Now heavy weight on your front foot for the landing here. You'll poke your nose in to slow down your momentum, otherwise you'll splat if you land. If you land with your surfboard completely flat on the surface of the water, it's gonna be like landing on concrete. It's gonna be super, super rigid. It's not very forgiving as you would expect it to be. Like there's a Stab interview where Italo Ferreira says he won't ride a board if he can't press his thumb through the deck of the board. And that's because you'll get hurt. If you do airs and you land wrong, you will get hurt. So I'd rather break my surfboard and go buy another one than break my femur or my whatever, you know? So that's why I like to land with my nose heavy, and then you see the tail fall down, and that keeps you on top of the water and makes for a nice, smooth, easy landing. All starts head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Rotate your head, then throw your shoulders, then your hips, then your knees, then your feet follow. So it's kind of a base of where to begin. Let's get into wind a little bit. So best wind for airs, worst wind for surfing, onshore wind. You want onshore wind if you're gonna be trying airs. And I'll tell you why. Because if you have offshore wind and you're trying to do an air, you're gonna go up to do the air and your board's gonna blow away from you like this. Whereas if you have onshore wind coming this way, you're gonna go up to do the air and it's gonna push the board glued to your feet. So it'll keep your board underneath you for longer and much easier until you figure out how to shift your feet correctly to make it so the board sticks to your feet. Your best case scenario is gonna be definitely onshore wind.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning back in to episode 1 of Tech Tips with Uncle Kolty featuring Owen. And I hope you guys learned a little bit about how to do airs. Next week, we're going to go over turning. So ideal places to do which turn that you want to do, whether it's a snap, cutback, have wrap, anything like that. If you guys have any questions, drop in the comments below, DM me or use Surf. We'll be happy to help you out. You can even send us your clips and I'll give you some pointers too. So drop in the comments, like, subscribe, you know all the things. But thanks for tuning back in. I'll see you next time.
We're tied to a point, it's time to go. No reason to take it slow. Gotta get up, hit the road, and say what's up to Poncho.